Bruno Fernandes.
It's unacceptable. Now, it's been nearly a week now. Have you made any thoughts about what you think would be a good person to put in there instead?
I mean, we've all heard of the rumours that possibly could be. I mean, we're hearing that the likes of Gareth Southgate, Graham Potter, people like that. You've now got Thomas Tuchel that's available. There are names out there. There's no real standout that I would think you've just got to go and move quickly and go and get him. But I just think, you know, I know you've always got to have a plan after you make a decision like that, but this current manager fills me with no confidence whatsoever. And you know, what are Manchester United going to do? Wait for the perfect candidate? You might be waiting a year, 2 years, 3 years. In the meantime, going to keep being served up this? I think you almost just got to make that decision, and then, you know, I'm sure they're searching as we speak.
You know, the thing is, Mike, is that I was reading some of the stuff that Sir Jim Ratcliffe was saying about trying to build structure and trying to build a structure where the club plays to a certain like Ajax, which is something that Ten Hag was used to, and then you just bring the coaches in. Now, if that's the way they're going to go, then you probably feel like he might feel like, well, Ten Hag can operate in that situation, so we'll have to see how that works out. But to build that kind of structure in a club like Man United from the bottom all the way to the top, so as then you can only bring in the coach, is going to be a long process. So it's going to be interesting to see how they actually do that. But something's going to have to give in the summer. We need to find out what's going to happen. And it's quite interesting times for Man United now.
Certainly is. OK, interesting summer ahead. Let's get the immediate thoughts from today, the 1-0 defeat from Erik Ten Hag.
Well, Erik, we know that a Manchester United manager is never going to stand in front of us after a defeat and be happy. But can the players at least look the supporters in the eye today, knowing that they've given everything, the fight, the heart that you asked for beforehand, that was all there?
No, I think your line is right. We can face them, where on Monday definitely we couldn't face them. But you see the fans are behind us, and they fought with us in Palace. And today we gave them back, but that should be the standard in any game.
So what was the key to a much improved performance?
It is attitude. Starts always with the right attitude, and that is what you have to build during the week, and on match day you have to be spot on, and today we did. And then you see, even when we miss 7 start 11 players, potential start 11 players, we are competitive with one of the best teams in the league.
So you say attitude, but also a bit of an adaptation from you tactically today. Dalot looked very narrow. I don't know if the plan was to sort of restrict Arsenal, stop them coming through the middle.
Yeah, but it's also always the plan. And it's about the execution. And when you don't have the right attitude, and when you don't find the moments to press, when you don't be on one page in togetherness, or when you get beat, when you don't make the recoveries, then you make it very simple for every opponent.
What did you make of the goal that decided the game? Should Casemiro, should he know to be out there, or is that just a case of it's a midfielder playing in a out of position?
I think that I think it's a line, and you describe it, that situation, that is a midfielder playing in that position, making a mistake, making a small mistakes, but has hard consequences.
How important is it that this is just, this is the base, if you like, and you move on from here with basically 3 cup finals left, not just 1?
No, but I think for a United player, every game is a final, and you have to perform and you have to win every game. And we should realise this.
You mentioned the supporters, I think, in your first answer, right behind the team again today, right behind you, it seems like, as well. What does that mean? Because, I mean, you're the manager of a massive club that hasn't had a great season, and it feels like the pressure and scrutiny on you is big, but to have those supporters still behind you, what does that mean?
That I think the fans understand this, where we are, where this club is. If we have so many injuries, and especially on key areas, they don't get what they deserve, the fans, but they understand this, and that's why I think they are behind the team, because they see most of the times also a team what's fighting for each other, but has the right spirit, and I think that's why they are with us. We are united, we have a strong bond, and hopefully we can pay them back in the future.
And do you think you've shown today that you're a manager that's still able to really influence this team tactically, and in terms of their motivation?
I have no doubt about this, because, as I say, maybe in Palace, but I think there's also human beings, and in my experience, that will always happen once in 3 months, that you are not in the right attitude. But on Monday we had such a night, but mostly this team has always the right spirit, and they always execute the rules and the principles from the game, how we want them to play. And even if they have to adapt to different positions where we are now with all the injuries, so yeah, I can only be happy. And I think big compliment for this team, that the ones who played, they execute with all what they could, and they were competitive, and they were fighting, and then you see you can get a result.
Obviously the league table, the gap between yourselves and Arsenal looks massive, but with a fully fit squad, how big do you think that gap is between yourselves and the very best teams?
Oh, that is just hypothetical. We don't have to answer this question in this moment, because it isn't. We have the problems, and that the problems cost us, I think, the results, but I don't know where we should be when we had all the players on board, but definitely is. If there are players all on board, then you will get more points. Definitely you will more consistency, especially in the back line, because now we concede a lot of chances, a lot of goals, and last year we had the most clean sheets in the Premier League.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All the best.